fastest show in sports.
You know who can do it, though, but who won't do it? Because we're all talking about having the ability and the people there. ESPN. Now, hear me out on this. ESPN makes hundreds of millions of dollars through Disney. They are one of the richest media outlets to do sports in world history. They've got the money, they've got the people. They're laying a lot of them off these days to basically keep the mouse happy, but they've got the people, the wherewithal, the way to do it. They could dig the stories. The old Bob Lee, once again, we go back to that, where real stories were being told, even 30 for 30, where stories are being told, but they won't do it anymore because they're in bed with the NFL and the NBA and Major League Baseball and the Olympics and college football. You'll never hear, if a kid at a college right now is arrested on an assault charge, ESPN will put that at the bottom of the sports center because it's their partner. They can't screw with their partners. So at that point, how can we fight that? I mean, that's what I swear to God, to both of you, that's what I'm trying to do with this show a little bit. Just be honest. Be honest and tell the real stories. Don't care. We don't have to worry about being fired by Disney, which is not a bad thing sometimes. But, just kidding. But we can tell the truth, and people need to listen to these, but we get drowned out by the ESPNs who are more marketing than they are telling stories.
To follow up on what Helene said about promoting yourself and how that's become such a big thing. I kind of, to get my job at the New York Times, I had to promote it was something endemic to me. But even someone made a joke. I can't remember who it was, but Helene worked with one of like 4 sports columnists in the history of mankind to win a Pulitzer Prize, Jim Murray. And Jim Murray had these incredible leads and used metaphor and simile, and he brought people into the sports page that wouldn't normally even pick up the page because of his humor and his depth and his emotion. But but my friend cringed. He said, "Could you imagine if Twitter was around when Jim Murray was, and Jim Murray would have to get on his own account and go, 'Hey guys, the Indianapolis 500 is happening today. Like, check out my lead, gentlemen. Start your coffins. You like it?'" Like, I mean, come on.
I would
That
like
was
to
the
be there
beauty
in
of the
that room the
paper.
day somebody told Jim Murray to do that.
Picking up the physical product and seeing that lead was part of the joy of reading and newspapers. And so I think that, yeah, and to the point of ESPN, there are a couple good NFL reporters still. Seth Wickersham, gosh, who's the other guy? I used to work with him Don Van Natta. And they actually cover the NFL like few people do and I'm sure they still have a problem with real journalism independence, but they're about as frank and transparent as they can when they write about the owners
as they can be, because if one of those reporters
Belichick
came out with a story and went to their editor and went to the managing editors and said, "I get a great story on this kid, and here is what it is," and if it damages the brand, don't we all three know that it will be killed? Don't stop right there. Bury it, do something, hold on to it, because we can't hurt the brand. We can't hurt the money trail.
I don't know. I can, because go ahead, Helene. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say tangentially that I think ESPN is one of the great stories of our time. The rise of ESPN, the growth and what it has become.
Yes.
And I'd love to see somebody do a really deep dive on that. I mean, people made fun of it when it started. I mean, they were showing quoits tournaments, those kind of things. And look what it's become. It's become this megalith that just controls everything, as you said, Ed. I mean, it controls all these media rights, so it controls all these leagues, and it indirectly controls the news that we see.
Well, that's the word right there. They control the news. There's no question.
Yeah. And they can slant it or report it or not report it to fit their needs. And they do.
And then you have to worry about, Mike, who comes in here and who actually is the one who changes things, who brings the stories forward. If you've got a reporter like yourself who's got a great story and they tell you to bury it, where do you go from there? You bury it. You have no choice, or you're out of a job.
Well, I just want to write about the media organizations now, or like just the whole, or the people in my business that have gone to the far right that I don't even believe some of them are convicted about their beliefs, but they've understood that there's sadly enough, a revenue stream of the angry white manosphere male that they can appeal to, and it's frightening, but that's where some of the people in our business are going, and all that stuff, like the whole notion of fine. I get it, building your personal brand. I don't get sacrificing who you are, or just just going down into some depth that I can't even imagine. And if I'm talking about somebody specifically, it's probably Jason Whitlock, who was once a friend. While we disagreed on a lot of things, he
Despicable.
was a good ideas guy. He had a great idea. He was a good ideas guy, and he had, and now he's just become this provocateur, this right wing provocateur that makes angry white guys feel good about their choices in life, which is just
But he
sad.
does it because he's promoting his brand, Mike. We go right back to exactly what we've been talking about.
Well, that's the only place. The crazy conservative websites are the only place that would hire him and give him money at this point. So
But I mean,
And
Stephen
I
A.
apparently,
think
Smith.
that's.
I mean, do you remember when Stephen A. Smith started out? He was a newspaper reporter.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
and I visit this website called awfulannouncing.com that reports on different media and related issues. And at one point, I was almost going to leave a comment on the website saying, "Does Stephen A. Smith pay you to write about him every day?" He's great at self-promotion.
a
Then I
friend of mine
didn't leave the
actually is in
comment because I
charge of that
figured they'd
website,
they'd trace it somehow and I'd be embarrassed. But look at Stephen A. Smith and God bless, he's a rich man. He has great ambitions, good for him, but it's like there's no there.
and no, there isn't. It's a screaming job, is all it is.
Exactly.
Scream loudest, and you get heard. But he
That's
has
why I
the
know I don't watch those talk shows. I mean, I may be one of the few sports fans in the world who never I don't watch didn't watch Pardon the Interruption. I don't watch any of those shows
never did,
because they're just people screaming.
never
Who
did.
can scream the loudest and build up his brand the best? I don't want that. I don't need people. There's a great song by Mary Chapin Carpenter. Tell me something I don't know instead of everything I do. Okay,
Hmm.
those people aren't telling me anything I don't know.
That's all, folks.